it is, and the word mind in Indian thought is quite different from what is understood. In Western thought, especially in Western science and Western medical science, the mind is understood very differently than how it is understood in the Vedantic psychology or Indian psychology. In I tried to tell many, but then they identify mind with the brain, which is not correct at all. Brain is the part of your body. Now many have started understanding in last about 20 years that because many got now a feel of the separateness of hardware and software. That it is, the software is not same as hardware. And this mind is the software that runs this hardware called body. And so that software really is the major thing that pans out or works, For example, when you are playing a song from a sound system, whatever earlier it used to be cassette player or CD player, and nowadays they all are gone. So it is, you have a stick that you plug in there, from that you play whatever. But those sticks would be similar. Those USB sticks, they would be similar. But what you play is whatever is actually stored there. That information, it goes through these interfaces, and thus you get to hear the song. So it is this, whatever is that information, that is mind. It is, the word mind is not exactly the same in the Western ideas. We have very thorough understanding, very deep analysis of what is mind. In Western psychology, you see, whatever they may say, it is nothing more than behaviorology. Actually, it peters down to only behaviorology. You change the behavior, you observe the behavior, and by looking at the behavior, you somehow get an idea about what the mind is, how the mind of this person is functioning. That is fine, but that is a very superficial understanding, and that is why you see even in therapeutics or in other fields of psychology, the results are not very encouraging. It is because you don't have access to it. If I tell my body, there is some control, semblance of control I have. If I say, hey, wipe my nose, so it will do like that. But hey, clean your mind, do I have access to it? I don't have access to it, you see. So one has to first get to the access, so that you can really do the cleaning work there. Somehow behavior is certainly an index, and by following the behavior one can get some access, but that is very little. So in Vedanta or Sankhya philosophy, I am not going to go into the details of the differences between the two, although they are different. But for our understanding for today, this mind is very important. It is called the manas or chitta in Sanskrit, which is the internal instrument, sometimes called subtle body. And it includes in the Vedantic understanding what is called the mind, the intellect, the storehouse of memory, it is that space, that internal space, and the ego. These four functions are included in that. Further included are the sensory and motor organs. And sensory and motor organs, when I say that, many say, well, they are the part of the body, isn't it? No, they are not part of the body. They are actually the programs. And sometimes I give the example, like your printer is not really the printer that is kept there. It is the driver that you download. That is the true printer. So also the programs that run our systems, they say visual or audio or even the motor organs, our taste functions. That is why there is the programs change, and they change too. They are so important that, and those are actually part of the software. That is not hardware. And so in Vedanta, this understanding, this analysis is so clear. This all is software, and therefore when this hardware becomes dysfunctional, this software, all this what was stored gets transferred on the other hardware. That is called rebirth. Rebirth is a very simple thing, It is that now again, because of some acquaintance with modern, accepting these ideas, that it is same, like when your smartphone, what? Do you use smartphone? Most of you use, 90%. Do you use smartphone? Oh yeah, so he's a smart guy, so it is, so it is this. Now the smartphones, the industry makes it in such a way that it has to go become obsolete in 4-5 years. It refuses to get charged, or the new apps do not get downloaded on those, and so you have to get a new one. But then you don't want to lose all the contacts you had, all the nice files, pictures and all that you had. So what you do, you transfer from this machine to that machine. Exactly, that is what is done at the time of giving up this body and taking the new one. It is very simple, nothing really much complicated about it. That what is rebirth and how, well, it is so simple as this. Just as you change your smartphones, it is like that. When you change your house, for example, you were living some years ago, maybe you might have been living in some other place, then you get to the new house. Do you discard all the costly jewelry and other things that you had? No, you transfer those to the new house. You do not leave it there. All the cash and all other important things you carry with you to the new place. Only all the trash and garbage that is thrown out, that anyway we throw out. So it is like that. So this is the mind. What I was trying to give you, this idea of mind, this is the main instrument because of which our experiences happen. And so in Vedanta and in teachings of Sri Ramakrishna, you get this very important message that mind is the cause of bondage and freedom, both. Because of the mind giving you all the wrong inputs, that like Avanish got in this message that ice cream will bring me happiness, and so he ran for that. So it is now, this is the wrong information, that it is so, because of that one gets bound and suffers. So that this instrument needs to be changed to see that Sarvam Brahmamayam. The first sentence, that part of that, Re Re, means, oh dear, please know this. The sages are telling, the Sadashiva Brahmendra, great poet and teacher, says that, oh you my dear, see that everything is Brahman. Now how to do that? That is the science of yoga. And this yoga, Swami Vivekananda, for our understanding, made this 4 aspects of it are shown. In Bhagavad Gita you will see 18 yogas. Every chapter is titled a yoga. So, but these 4 divisions which are given in the other scriptures as well, like the yoga of action. Now, the actions have to be changed, not exactly the action, but the mental aspect of it, the psychology of it is to be changed. That instead of doing the action with the motives of getting pleasure out of it, now that action catches us. We become addicted to it. And thus, we become slave to it. Even if I don't want to do it, I get compelled to do it. Even if I know that I am suffering because of that, I cannot stop it. I become slave to that. So, that is how we end up, we want freedom, but we end up in getting more enslaved.